Welcome, everyone. It's great to see you all. It's time for us to start our service, and we're proud to be offering an LGBTQ plus inspired service for today. And on this busy Sunday morning, we are glad that you chose to direct your attention to this UU CoastPride Sunday service. My name is Noreen Cooper-Hevlin, and along with Tom Devine and Bill Hevlin and Laura Cartwright, we are your worship associates for today. A very warm welcome to those of us who are visiting us for the first time, and to those of you who attend regularly. So Unitarian Universalism stands among the liberal faith traditions of this nation as a denomination, not just this congregation, but all our congregations. UU advocates for LGBTQ plus rights, reproductive rights, immigrant rights, civil rights, democracy, climate justice, vaccine wisdom, affordable housing, as we work together to promote social justice and to repair the world. And our congregational theme for this month is paying attention. Today, we warmly welcome Jason Mousel to the UU CoastPride pulpit. His talk is entitled, From Pew to Cushion, How My Body Led Me Home. Jason will talk about how growing up Catholic alienated him from his body and how mindfulness practice regrounded him and gave him an opening to listen to his body's sacred wisdom. And now Tom will lead us in our opening hymn.
So our opening hymn is in your silver hymnal. It's number 352. It's called Find a Stillness. How many people have sung this before? And how many have not sung this before? All right, so Diedrich, would you mind playing the entire melody through as our introduction? Because some people may not know it. So Diedrich will play it through, and then we will sing the two verses there. This is, by the way, it's a very meditative, prayerful hymn, and it's set to a Transylvanian folk tune. Now, you may not know this, I didn't for a long time, but one of the roots of Unitarianism is Transylvania. It's not just where Dracula comes from. So, please rise as you're able, and join me in singing hymn number 325. No, it's not 325, it's 352. 352 in your silver hymnals. Peter? thank you for singing. And now, pardon me. And now Laura Cartwright, the new Executive Director of CoastPride, will lead us in our chalice lighting. Welcome, Laura.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see your faces this morning. And now it's time to light the chalice. Chalice lighting is a ritual that unites us as Unitarian Universalists. This tradition started in the 1930s to show support for asylum seekers fleeing the Nazis. Due to fire regulations, this particular chalice glows from the battery power. These particular chalice lighting words are by Linda Lee Franson. The title is Pride Flame. Please join me in reading aloud these words, which are printed in your order of service. The Pride Flame by Linda Lee Franson. We light this flame to ignite our hearts and minds, the spark of knowledge that enlightens, the shimmering hope that burns, the blazing love that engulfs our actions, the bonfire of our commitment. We light this flame for those who celebrate themselves, who fear, who hope, who persevere, who stand on the side of love for all. We light this flame for those who have been ridiculed, that they may find peace, for those who have fought to marry, that they may celebrate, for those who live in uncertainty in the world, that they may have hope. We light this flame to renew our commitment that no one shall ever again suffer for the right to love. We light this flame to celebrate our kaleidoscope of diversity, working, loving, and living on the side of love. For this, we light this flame.
I have been asked to do the practice of generosity today. And I am pleased that you're all here, and I'm sure you're looking forward to our speaker and to our music. And I am thankful that, for the moment anyway, you're paying attention to me. And I am tasked this morning, in this present moment, to inspire you to donate to UU CoastPride. For some of you, this comes easily. You come out of habit and put something in the donation plate. Thank you for that. Now, why is this section called the practice of generosity? It's because it's about habits. Some things you do with concentration, like now, you're listening to me, maybe even wondering what I'm going to say next. You're paying attention, and that takes effort. Other tasks you do out of habit, like eating breakfast cereal or consuming the news, not paying so much attention to the crunch. You're eating breakfast out of habit. Something you do every day. Habits take less effort. And you can cultivate good habits by doing them every day, and you can cultivate bad habits by doing them every day. Like flossing your teeth or meditating. If you do it every day, these tasks become habits. Flossing your teeth, meditating, those are good habits. I'm on the record, those are good habits. And with practice, you can develop any virtue: kindness, compassion, gratitude, etc. And like generosity, that's another good habit. Becoming willing to donate. Like many virtues, this one takes practice. And that's why this part of the service is called the practice of generosity. We're trying to build a habit, a reflex to give. Maybe give your time and effort, or maybe give financially. Everything's possible. Donating cash to UUCC is easy. You just lay the bills in the donation plate. Donating by check is pretty easy. You make out the check to UUCC. Such giving is fundamental to this community, and it makes it possible for this community to continue. Anyway, well, all these collections are taking place. We're going to revisit Mo Robinson, once a regular UUCC musician in the COVID Zoom-only years. And he's singing this lovely lullaby, which means something new every time I hear it. Everything Possible by Fred Small.
We have cleared off the table, the leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I have told you a story and tucked you in tights at the end of your knockabout day. As the moon sets its sails to carry you to sleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you good company. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one, special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you'll leave behind when you're done. There are girls who grow up strong and bold. There are boys who are quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind. Some go in their own way and time. Some women love women, some men love men. Some raise children, some never do. You can dream all the day, never reaching the end of everything possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they'll give the same back to you. You can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart leads, and know I will love you still. You can live by yourself. You can gather friends around. You can choose one, special one. And the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you'll leave behind when you're done. Yes, the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you'll leave behind when you're done.
So if you're curious as to how Unitarian Universalism is different when it comes to LGBTQ plus issues, this is an official hymn in our hymnal. Such a beautiful song. And so now I have a poem for you. Instead of usually formal readings from scripture, we tend to go to poetry as a source for inspiration, even though scripture is lovely too. This poem I'll be reading to you is called Tincture by Andrea Gibson. And Andrea Gibson was called the rock star of poetry slams and was the very first person to win the Women of the World Poetry Slam in 2008. Gibson's poetry focused on LGBTQ+ rights, gender, feminism, and mental health. Sadly, they passed away last year at age 49 from ovarian cancer. I'd like to dedicate this poem to my son, Perry Hedlund. Tincture by Andrea Gibson. Imagine when a human dies, the soul misses the body, actually grieves the loss of its hands and all they could hold, misses the throat, closing shy, reading out loud on the first day of school. Imagine the soul misses the stubbed toe, the loose tooth, the funny bone. The soul still asks, why does the funny bone do that? It's just weird. Imagine the soul misses the thirsty garden cheeks watered by grief, misses how the body could sleep through a dream. What else can sleep through a dream? What else can laugh? What else can wrinkle the smile's autograph? Imagine the soul misses each falling eyelash waiting to be a wish, misses the wrist screaming away the blade. The soul misses the lisp, the stutter, the limp. The soul misses the holy bruise blue from that army of blood rushing to the wound's side. When a human dies, the soul searches the universe for something blushing, something shaking in the cold, something that scars, sweeps the universe for patience worn thin. The last nerve fighting for its life, the voice box aching to be heard. The soul misses the way the body would hold another body and not be two bodies, but one, pleading God doubled in grace. The soul misses how the mind told the body, you have fallen from grace. And the body said, erase every scripture that doesn't have a pulse. There isn't a single page in the Bible that can wince, that can clumsy, that can freckle, that can hunger. Imagine the soul misses hunger, emptiness, rage, the fist that was never taught to curl, curled, the teeth that were never taught to clench, clenched, the body that was never taught to make love, made love like a hungry ghost digging its way out of the grave. The soul misses the unforever of old age, the skin that no longer fits. The soul misses every single day the body was sick, the now it forced, the here it built from the fever. Fever is how the body prays, how it burns and begs for another average day. The soul misses the legs creaking up the stairs, misses the fear that climbed up the vocal cords to curse the wheelchair. The soul misses what the body could not let go. What else could hold on that tightly to everything? What else could hear the chain of a swing set and fall to its knees? What else could touch a screen door and taste lemonade? What else could come back from a war and not come back, but still try to live, still try to lullaby? When a human dies, the soul moves through the universe trying to describe how a body trembles when it's lost, softens when it's safe, how a wound would heal given nothing but time. Do you understand? Nothing in space can imagine it. No comet, no nebula, no ray of light can fathom the landscape of awe, the heat of shame, the fingertips pulling the first gray hair and throwing it away. I can't imagine it, the stars say. Tell us again about goosebumps. Tell us again about pain. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker today, Jason Mousel. Jason is a nutritionist and holistic health instructor certified in mindful and intuitive eating. He is currently pursuing a mindfulness teacher's certification. He has practiced mindfulness since the late 1990s, including silent retreats, MBSR, and daily meditation since 2015. And he has studied with teachers Mark Coleman, Martin Aylward, and Gil Fronsdale. His Sangha is at the Insight Meditation Center in Redwood City. With his husband and their dog, Jason has lived in El Granada since 2005. We are so happy to have Jason here today. Welcome, Jason.
Well, thank you, Noreen. I have to say that poem really struck a chord with me. I know many of us have been touched by cancer, and my heart goes out to you and Bill and Perry. I'm sure many of you in the room feel the same. And I also want to thank you all for welcoming me here today. Community has been a big part of my journey from disconnection from my body to presence. And this is a continuation of that journey. So thank you for being a part of it and having me here today. It means a lot to me. There's some familiar faces in the room, and many of you I don't know, so I look forward to getting to know you as well. I also have to say it's quite strange to be up here. I do a lot of public speaking in my professional life and, of course, as a mindfulness teacher, but like many of you, I'm used to being on the other side of the pulpit, if we're going to call it that. And when I grew up, I could not imagine someone like myself being in this position. And it feels, in a way, a form of taking back some authority that was not granted to me as a child. It feels like an opportunity. It has been actually an opportunity since Noreen graciously invited me to do this, to re-examine my childhood experience being in the pews or on the other side of this pulpit. And that's brought me some clarity and a little more insight into the complexity of that experience. So I'm going to be exploring that with you today as well. But this morning, we're going to talk about paying attention. That's our theme of the month, of course. And I'm going to use the body as the vehicle for us to be doing that. It's one that, unfortunately, many of us kind of don't pay attention to or don't realize that it can be a vehicle for paying attention. So I have a reflective question for you to consider. When was the last time you truly paid attention to your body? Not in the way of, oh, those aches and pains I wish I didn't have. That dissatisfaction with how I look or how I feel. But really, just listening. In this moment, how it is right now. This is the body that's carried you here today. And yesterday, Noreen, Bill, and Tom and I had a Zoom meeting. And, Noreen in her bubbly, warm, heartfelt way asked me, "Are you excited?" And my immediate reaction was, "No, I'm nervous." And so being present in my body has not only helped me to rediscover, reconnect with myself, but also it's just been a valuable, tool to manage anxiety, to help me be with nervousness, to do things like this. So I've learned some specific techniques which include things like I'm doing right now, feeling my feet on the floor, noticing the beating of my heart, which is a little quicker than it usually is. Or even just looking around in the room. The visual sense is part of our body experience, of course. And for me, that can be really helpful. It can be intimidating having people looking at you. And like, look at all this, I call it the negative space maybe, that's above us and around us. And I find that provides a little relaxation to me. And relaxation is going to be a word I come back to throughout the talk today because I find it to be quite important. So getting back to that, I'll say confused and rather hurt boy in the pews that was me. And this was despite being in community, in the church itself. This was family, a long history of family connection with the Catholic Church. My grandfather was actually a Catholic priest from Ireland. I can imagine there's a story there that I won't get into, but he was a deacon at that point, when I was a kid, and it was part of the connection with my community, of course. And yet, there was something else that was going on, and this had to do with my sexuality, being gay. Unfortunately, I was learning, and this was not from, I don't have a memory of some dramatic moment of the preacher saying something, but it was really just, 1,000 little moments, a feeling that I would get. Of course, there were words and language that was shaming and taught me that my body, my being, something was wrong, something wasn't right. And this led me to think my body was not to be trusted. Something to be overridden, something to be ignored, something to not listen to. And I did not plant this, your comment about going back to Reno, but this was Reno, Nevada. This is where I grew up. So I'm happy to hear you have family there and that you're heading back there. I do as well. My parents are still there, my sister, and I have a couple of nephews as well. Cousins, there's quite a few of us still. But this was in the 70s and the 80s, so I didn't have a lot of queer role models at the time that were giving me any counter-programming to what I was unfortunately learning in the church. So for me, a way back to the body has been through mindfulness. This was a way of paying attention for me, a way of listening, and helped me move, and this is a principle of mindfulness, from judgment to acceptance. So as Noreen's already mentioned, my mindfulness practice really started in the late 1990s. I moved to San Francisco at that point. And over the years it deepened. I was exposed in many different ways, some of which was through movement. So with mindfulness practice, we think of meditation, which is coming into stillness. We're going to practice a little bit of that together today, but the body and movement was actually the place where I started to open up to it. And then deepening practice with some silent retreats, of course, and becoming connected with a new community, a new spiritual community. This was in Redwood City at the Insight Meditation Center that Noreen also mentioned with Gil Fronsdale. And he teaches from the Theravadan tradition. And he has a particular skill at bringing some ancient wisdom, some ancient scripture to a very understandable, practical, relatable way. Another of my teachers, Mark Coleman, does a lot of work on nature-based mindfulness. And he taught me that paying attention isn't a technique. It's a way of being alive, of being more fully myself. And lastly, Ruth King, who is the founder of the Mindfulness of Race Institute. She's taught me what it means to be white in the U.S. And her phrasing is that racism is a heart disease. And it's one that I need to actively pay attention to and take a role in curing. All of this brings me to someone else who might surprise you a little bit. So I'm coming back to my Catholic roots with Thomas Merton. And he was a Catholic, a Trappist monk, and a beautiful writer of contemplative presence. In The Sign of Jonas, he wrote of living fully in the present as the sacrament of the present moment. And in Conjectures of a Guilty Bystander, he wrote something I wish I'd been exposed to and connected with in my confused and wounded youth. This is the quote: "We're living in a world that is absolutely transparent, and God is shining through it all. God manifests himself everywhere, in everything. In people, in things, in nature, and in events. The only thing is, we don't see it. I have no program for this seeing, it is only given, but the gate of heaven is everywhere." So that was the tradition I grew up in. I do wish that I'd heard that, or maybe I did, but I wasn't ready to hear it, I don't know. But it was there all along. So this is part of what I mentioned earlier. Being here with you has been an opportunity for me to revisit some of that and see that there are connections for me with that tradition, even though I really had to reject much of it in order to find my own path. So, in mindfulness practice, the body is considered one of the primary objects of meditation. What in the Buddhist tradition is called the four foundations of mindfulness. And the reason that the body is centered is because it's always with us. If we're paying attention, the signals are there. The messages can become clear. In a way, it's just simply coming home to what's already happening. Unfortunately, most of us, like me, have the volume turned way down. So this is a little bit of a image that I often used over the course of my mindfulness practice, which is like, I need to turn the volume up a little bit on the body, helping me to reconnect with it. And as I've been mentioning, one of the things I've been reflecting on lately is how my mindfulness practice has led me to community, has reconnected me with community, and really how I show up in community as well. As Noreen mentioned, I've lived in El Granada for the past 20 plus years, and the coast side is home to me now in a very deep way. Also professionally, I use mindfulness quite a bit. It's become an integral part of my practice. Whether I'm teaching or counseling with people one-on-one about reconnecting with their eating cues, things like hunger, fullness, satisfaction, or Whether I'm teaching at San Francisco State and helping students see the way that some of their habits, as Bill was talking about, might be serving them well and some that might not be, and what might be good avenues for them to be able to change that. For the past 12 years, I've also served on the board of the HEAL Project, which some of you may know about. It's a local coastside nonprofit that teaches children where their food comes from and why it matters. So that I see as, in some ways, a counterweight to the culture we have now, which pushes many children and many of us onto screens into the digital world, away from our bodies. Bringing children to the farm, to the garden, having them eat something. Food is a very mindful experience. That tart that you all are going to enjoy in a couple of weeks. Seasonal, as well as an excellent way to pay attention. So for the children, I see that in a way, it's an opportunity for them to trust themselves again, to tune into their own experience, to really have a moment of presence. And we can see it when they come to the farm. It's quite magical. Children are quite good at being present when given the opportunity. I've also volunteered with CoastPride over the past 5 years or so. I'm very happy to share this day with Lauren. And it's very important for me for LGBTQ people to have space, to have the opportunity to reconnect with themselves, to feel safe in their own bodies and in community, which was a big part of my own journey, of course. And most recently, I've been offering a 6-week introduction to mindfulness course in El Granada, just a few blocks from my home, which is quite nice. Many of you who live here know it's hard to work and live in the community. So that's been true for me, but here's been a rare opportunity for me to walk to work and walk home that I've been enjoying. And that's intentional. I really want to bring mindfulness to the coast as much as I can. It's already here in many ways with yoga studios in the area, and I learned the rabbi's has some mindfulness practices as well in groups. So I'm also learning more about the deepening connection with mindfulness in Half Moon Bay. If you're interested, I plan to offer the course again. It's going on right now. I have a couple of postcards for the past course over there that has my contact information, my website. You can feel free to contact me or just look there. I'm going to be working with the Parks and Rec Department to offer the course again sometime in the next few months. So what I keep seeing in all of these spaces, that paying attention is a radical act. Paying attention to a child's relationship with food, paying attention to someone who has been told they don't belong, paying attention to someone who feels disconnected from their body, paying attention to your own breath in a moment of stress or grief or joy can really transform things. It really has for me. The UU tradition has always honored multiple paths to truth. What I hope is that we also can experience this together. So let's take a moment to try it out. We're going to start by just taking one deliberate breath. Feeling the inhale, maybe expanding the length of the exhale a bit, allowing the body to settle. Just breathing in and breathing out. And if you're comfortable, I offer you to close your eyes or just have a soft gaze in front of you. Now, without changing anything, just notice that you're sitting. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. The pressure of the seat beneath you. contact of your feet with the floor. You don't have to do anything with these sensations, just be with them. Let your attention rest here. Without gripping, just the lightness of being. Now let your attention move upward into your hands. Notice sensations of temperature, maybe a faint pulsing, the texture of whatever your hands are touching. Again, just noticing, not fixing, not changing, not judging. See if you can feel your hands from the inside out. Not the image of a hand, not a concept, a direct sensory experience. Now letting your attention move up into your chest and belly. Notice the gentle rise and fall with your breath. Watching the breath come and go, not controlling it, just letting it be as it is. The body is breathing itself. If your mind has wandered, not surprising, that's what our minds do. You've not done something wrong. Noticing that we're thinking is a form of mindfulness, a form of awareness. Just gently guide your attention back into your body. Now widen your attention to your whole body at once. Entire sense of being here, in this room, in this body, on this morning, with this community. Taking one more full breath together. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And that's it. That's mindfulness, very simple. We can be with our body. This is available anytime, anywhere. So for me, paying attention and being with my body has been one of the most honest spiritual practices that I've known. Whether we come to it through Buddhism or Christianity, Judaism, or the UU tradition, or through no tradition at all, the invitation is the same. Merton said the gate of heaven is everywhere. It's right here. It's with this breath, with this body, in this room. Sometime today, not necessarily in meditation, just in the middle of your normal, average, everyday life, I invite you to pause for a few seconds. Feel into your feet. That's enough. That's a beginning. Thank you all, and may it be so.
now we extinguish our candle, well, flame it says, but you know. If I can figure it out. One go on is. Here it is. Yeah. Right. Please join me in reading these words by Craig Rowland, entitled, "Let Us Be That Circle." As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its warmth into the world, not as a memory, but as a promise. A promise that you deserve a place where your voice matters, where your laughter is treasured and your silence is honored. You deserve a circle that sees your scars and your strength, your doubts and your radiance, and holds them all with care. Let us be that circle for one another, a community of fierce welcome, wild grace, and radical hope. Go knowing you belong here, you always have. All right, and now I have the pleasure of introducing Laura Cartwright. Coastside Gives is right around the corner, the annual Coastside fundraising event, and we wanted to give Laura Cartwright a chance to tell you about CoastPride, where she is the new executive director. Laura has over 28 years of experience advancing LGBTQIA+ equity. Throughout her career, Laura has built cross-sector partnerships and sustainable initiatives to strengthen support systems for youth and families. Known for her compassionate and joyful style, she's dedicated to ensuring every LGBTQIA+ person on the coastside feels a deep sense of belonging. Laura recently relocated to the area with her partner and their 3 cats, and is honored to serve the community she now calls home. Welcome, Laura.
Hi, y'all. It's so nice to be here. My name's Laura Cartwright. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the very proud new executive director at CoastPride, which if you don't know where that is, it's literally about 500 feet from this door. You just walk down Main Street and you'll see the beautiful Pride flag outside of our building. What I want to share with you today, first of all, is a deep sense of gratitude for the space that you're all creating, for showing up, for being present, for being real, for being yourselves. I have a huge history of serving youth across this country, in Michigan, in Portland, all across the nation, where I've been able to do presentations, work with young people on belonging, LGBTQIA+ belonging, and also really supporting young girls. So I wanted to let you know that, because whenever I talk to anybody, the story of my background is with me, and the young people I have served are up here on the stage with me right now. Just like you all have a story, and the people you love, those people are with me in this moment, including the person I love, my partner, who's here with me today. And I'm wearing a Protect Trans Youth or Trans Kids shirt today for a couple of reasons. I'm sure one of them you all can understand with our political climate that's going on and all of the different things we're facing. But also because CoastPride was started and founded by a grandmother who wanted a place for their grandson to be able to thrive, to be able to be seen, to be able to be safe. And so they created CoastPride. And it was only 7 years ago, and it was the only thing of its kind on the coast. And so as of right now, we are the only LGBTQ service center that is from Pescadero to Pacifica, but also because of so many funding losses in San Mateo County, we're the only one open right now. San Mateo County Pride Center will reopen, but they currently don't have a space. So we are the only space right now for San Mateo County where folks can come. And what I can tell you also is the way that I show love and belonging is when I work with our young people. I tell them all, especially our trans youth, that they are so easy to love. I make sure they don't walk out of a space without knowing that they are not the problem. They are not part of the problem, that they are someone that's easy to love. And so I want to encourage you all with this spirit of community to be thinking about how to give back to our community. And if you're not sure about how the LGBTQ community intersects with you, that's okay. We are here for everybody. I believe every time I stand up in front of a group that there are LGBTQ folks in the space. There are people who love LGBTQ folks in this space. And I just want to let you know how incredibly grateful I am to live here on the coast and to bring a spirit of belonging to our people. And that anyone is welcome. Now, May 7th is the last day of CoastPride Gives. It is also our 7th birthday, May 7th. So our theme is community is our superpower. And community really does feel like a superpower. It's a place we get joy, it's a place we get belonging, it's a place we come together, and we have hope. So I'm going to unveil something for y'all that no one else has seen. And I want you to know, people have been really excited to see this. So at our Community is Our Superpower birthday party, we will be raffling off superhero capes in all of the colors of the pride flag and the trans flag. Because if you don't know also, CoastPride's motto is stronger together. And so we really are all one. We really are part of the same thing. We really are just trying to be human, to be loved, to be seen. And these are amazing, right? And so I even got I got the okay from one of our middle schoolers who I was like, I want to make sure this is going to go over well. People will want to join the raffle to get one of these superhero capes. So please come by on the 7th. Our doors will be open between like 5:30 to 7. We'll have some, cupcakes, some music. We'll have some raffle items. And we'll just be celebrating CoastPride Gives. I also have a handout for you all. I really do think that giving matters during this time, and any amount matters. I believe that anyone who gives anything to us becomes part of our community. Like, we are tied, right? So to me, it's not a transaction. To me, it's really about us being part of the same vision. And that's what giving really means to me. So if you have $1, great. If you have $100, fantastic. It's all keeping us connected. So I'll pass it to you to consider. We also have match giving right now, so any donation that goes to CoastPride will be matched through May 7th, so that's really exciting too, so it doubles your donation. But really all the honor is mine to be part of this community, newly on the coast. My partner and I plan to stay here, hopefully forever. We love it so much. And please do come visit us at the center. We're open 10 to 6 every day, Monday through Friday. And we also have a lot of social events, support groups, book clubs. We offer all of our Pride events that are coming up in June. So please know that we are part of your community and you are part of ours. And we hope to connect with y'all soon. And come get a cape.
Can you tell us again what the address is?
Yeah, we're 711 Main Street. And also, if you've heard of this little a big project going on called Alcove, it's also part of CoastPride. CoastPride is the lead agency that is opening an integrated wellness center for youth aged 12 to 25 on the other side of Main Street. And so that will be servicing all youth with therapy, medical care, substance use support, employment services, and also community opportunities. Keep your ears open for that one. It's super special. It's going to really be a legacy on the coast of wellness for our young people. And we'll definitely be wanting to bring a lot of mindfulness to that specific thing. And we're also partnering with Heal Project to help us with our garden. So a lot of connections in this space. All right, community is a superpower. It really is. Thank you all for letting me speak for so long.
We have a closing hymn, and it's in your blue hymnals, teal hymnals. It's number 1053. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Now, we're going to sing it 3 times. First, Diedrich's going to play it through so that everybody knows the tune. And then We're going to sing it 3 times. First time, I'm going to suggest that you sing it to Jason in thanks for his talk. And second time, I'd like you to think about your younger self that maybe needed to hear this message. So sing it for yourself the second time. Then Deidre will play the tune again as an interlude. And for our last time through, what I'd like you to do is turn toward the person sitting next to you, look into their eyes, sing it to them.
Service than usual, but it was well worth it. Just so happy that everyone came today, and I want to thank our speakers, Jason and Lauren, and we're quite a grateful bunch, UUs, so we like to thank everyone at the end, and our deep gratitude to Jason for guiding us in these simple practices of listening to our body's wisdom. And thanks to Laura for lighting our chalice and telling us why it's important to support CoastPride. So don't forget, May 7th, we're going to make sure that we help CoastPride out. And you can do it before too. We're also thankful for our great co-worship associates, Bill and Tom, and we're always thankful for the beauty that Diedrich's lovely music brings to our service. Thanks to the magnificent Tom for leading us in hymns, and to the people who worked on the production team, myself, Bill, Tom, and Jason, and to our amazing technical director, Bruce Raffnell, who recorded the service today and then will edit it and it'll go up on our YouTube channel. So if you can, please fold your chairs and store them in the room in the right if possible. We've got healthy snacks. I made sure we had healthy snacks. We always have healthy snacks, not really, but this time we have healthy snacks to honor Jason. So today's service has concluded, but not our commitment to make the Unitarian Universalist Coastside community a resource for our beloved LGBTQ plus community, and for us to support one another and make our way through this goosebumpily broken but beautiful world. Thank you everyone for coming today. Amen.